Hello students, good day to all. So today I'm here to give a message to all the engineering students as well as aspirants. Just I was going through the admission process. So I've seen that from last, not this year admissions as well as the last 2 years admission trend if you see. So most of the good student as well as the most number of students is opting for computer science. It's good. From last 2 decades, computer science evolved a lot. Lot of research was happened. Lot of new things are come, and computers has become part of our life as well as our profession. So in everywhere, every whether it's engineering, whether it's a medicine, or whether anything, if you take the computers, definitely computer has become part of things. So when coming to the engineering, so is computer science is only the engineering? So when I'm going through the trend, so it's looking like almost 80 to 85% of the students are opting for only computer science and engineering. It's looking like engineering means it's a computer science. So as a core engineer, as a professor in engineering, so this is my responsibility uh, to inform to the students what is the future. So how we can manage the things in future so that we can build our nation, so build the world with more effectively. So maybe this my 22 to 23 25 minutes video. Please uh, see this. Definitely it will give you some idea to you. So in addition to computers, there is a lot of other engineering fields also there, which is equally important to computer science.
Most of the students know who is he, right? So he is the role model for a lot of students I know who is taking the admissions in various engineering disciplines. So I hope he is an Indian, right? So Indian born technocrat. So who is he? He is nothing but Satya Nadella, right? Everybody know him. So who is he? Satya Nadella. He is a CEO of Microsoft, right? So he's born in Hyderabad, Telangana state in India. Now it's in Telangana. Previously it was in United Andhra Pradesh. So he's an Indian. So what is his qualifications? Right? He's the chief executive officer of world-renowned computer operating system developers, Microsoft. So you know what is his qualifications? So he's a bachelor's in electrical engineering from Manipal Institute of Technology in Karnataka in India. And after this, he done masters, so MS in computer science at the University of Wisconsin, so in Milwaukee. So after this graduation in Master of Science in computer science, he has worked in Sun Microsystems. So in engineering technology staff, he's one of the staff member there. So in 1992, he joined Microsoft. So in Microsoft, he developed cloud database, Windows servers, and various tools for this Microsoft. So in 2014, February 4, he is promoted as a CEO, Chief Executive Officer of Microsoft. Right. So this is one of he's one of the great son of India, right? So I can go for next one more very famous person. So I hope students know him also, right? So who is he? So he is Sundar Pichai, right? So what is he? So why we? So he's a CEO of Google, right? Students, I think very much friend nowadays is Google, right? So he's the CEO. So he's also an Indian, so right? He's born in Madurai in Tamil Nadu. So you know what is his qualifications? So few students may know his qualifications and few students may not know his qualifications. So maybe for everybody, maybe his qualification is actually a metallurgist. So degree in metallurgical engineering from IIT Kharagpur in India. So later on, he's done masters. So masters in material science engineering from Stanford University. So he's in qualification. There is no computers or no information technology in his qualifications. So he later joined in applied materials. So in engineering and production management team, he joined in applied materials. So applied materials is used to develop the new materials in the world. It's one of the renowned organization for material development. So he joined Google in 2004. So after applied materials experience, he's joined in Google. So with that experience, he works in some of the software development. Later on, he developed Google Chrome. So now popularly we are using for internet things, whatever the things we are exploring. Mostly we are exploring Google Chrome. So he's the chief architecture of developing Gmail. So previously, when Google starts, Gmail was not there. So most of the people are using some other email servers. So he's also developed in Android and Google Maps. So in 2015, so August 2015, he's promoted as the CEO of the Google. So after he's taken over as a CEO, he's taken Google to new heights. So these are the two success stories, and one more success story maybe I can show to you. So these two, Satya Nadella as well as Sundar Pichai, maybe they're in working in USA, but this is our own Indian. He's working in India and he's in India now. So I hope everybody know him. So he's Narayana Murthy, so chairman, CEO, and founder of Infosys. Right, he founded Infosys in 1981. He's born in Shidlanghatta in Karnataka. It's in India, right? So what is his qualification, right? So if you see the qualification, he's a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering from National Institute for Engineers in under University of Mysore. So master in electrical engineering from IIT Kanpur. So after his masters, he worked for IIM Ahmedabad in few months, and then he started his own startups. His startups initially is not success. Then he joined Patni Computers in Pune and designed the basic interpreter. So he's developed something, and later in 1981 he founded Infosys along with his 6 friends, so 6 software professionals. And you know what is the investment at that time? 1981 invested 10,000 Indian rupees to start Infosys. So almost 40 years back, 10,000. Now I think 10,000 having very, very small value, but in 40 years back, 10,000 having very good value. So with this 10,000, they started Infosys. So he's changed the global delivery model for IT services, and he's outsourced a lot of software projects, lot of IT projects to rest of the world. So he described, people used to call him father of Indian IT sector. So there is no computer science or no information technology in his qualification, but later on his experience in that, he's developed good things. Come to one more renowned scientist in pre as well as the post independent era. So that is who is he? So he's nothing but Homji Baba. So people's you know that Baba Atomic Center in Mumbai. So it was named after him. So he's the founding director of Department of Atomic Energy after post independence. So he's the father of Indian nuclear program. So in a few years back, I think we tested Pokhran atomic trials, right? So this is most of the atomic research in India is his ideas. So he's born in Bombay, so under British India. So he was born in before independence, so in British India. What is his qualifications? So I hope most of the students know him. So but at least you heard about Baba Atomic Center in Mumbai. So bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering from Cambridge, and he also has the doctorate in nuclear physics at the Cavendish Laboratory. He worked on nuclear physics. So he's established Cosmic Ray Research Unit at Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore. So at that time, under this IISc was headed by C.V. Raman, Nobel laureate Sir C.V. Raman. So he also founded the Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. So he's the founder and sponsored, and complete investment is done by Tata. So that's why this name is given as Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. It was invented in 1945 before independence. So later in 1954, the Department of Atomic Energy was established, and he was the first director of this atomic energy department. So this was started in 1954 on the request of first Prime Minister of India, Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru. So people describe him as the father of Indian nuclear program. And one more thing I need to tell you. So DAE, Department of Atomic Energy, is the main support for Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, which having very great success stories of ISRO. So ISRO initially started under DAE. So in 1970s, it was separated from DAE, starts its own name called Indian Space Research Organization. So this Indian Space Research Organization is the one of the child of DAE, we can say. So then we need to come to the most important person of Indian post-independent. I hope everybody know him, right? He's Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So we used to remember him as the people's president and missile man of India. So he's the very dear child of India, especially post-India. So he's born in Rameshwaram, Tamil Nadu, in India. So what is his qualifications? I hope most of the students may not know, right? So he's a bachelor's degree in physics, especially in mechanics, from University of Madras. So later he's pursued masters in aerospace engineering at Madras Institute of Technology. He is a project director of India's first satellite launch vehicle, SLV-3. So he's the first successful launch. There's a lot of trials was happened, lot of attempts has failed before this. So, but first successful launch was SLV-3 under Abdul Kalam's leadership in ISRO. So he's the chief scientific advisor to the Prime Minister and secretary of DRDO. I think in very long duration he served in this position, and the chief project coordinator of the Pokhran-2 nuclear tests. So he's the chief architecture of this Pokhran-2, whatever the nuclear test has conducted. So 11th, later on he's become the president of India. So he was the 11th president of India. He served as a president from 2002 to 2007. So in this tenure, he is remembered as a people's president. So these whatever the success stories we are seeing. So these peoples are maybe good in information technology, good in technology, or maybe these peoples, Baba. Homi Baba or Abdul Kalam, they are the pillars of Indian development post-independence. So I suggest students to think. So there is only one specialization is there in engineering. So if you come to the mechanical engineering, so I'm belonging to mechanical engineering. So just because not only mechanical engineering, this core engineering, maybe even civil engineering, electrical engineers. So every engineers are required for national building. Every engineers are required for the development. So as a mechanical engineer, we are doing our part for global domination. So whatever the things you see on this screen, whether it's aircraft, whether it's a robot, whether the defense systems, whether it's the satellites, whether it's the structures, so whatever things are there, everything is developed by the engineers, not by the single engineer. It's a multidisciplinary. If you take in the satellites, whatever they're reaching into the orbit, it's not by one specific engineer. It's a multidisciplinary. Everybody's contribution is required. A mechanical engineer, electrical engineer, computer science engineer, electronics, even chemical engineers, metallurgy, materials, everything is required. So now in this scenario, we are seeing that we are ahead only in one direction, that is in computers. So now the student especially has to think whether the success is only in computers, no other way success is there. So definitely, so I think success in other places is more. So it's actually, if you take the mechanical engineering, for example, it's a very much challenging field. So coming to me, I want to take my example. So I was associated with ISRO. So this is whatever you're seeing in the screen. On left side, this is GSLV Mark III. So this was launched in 2017, right? So this is the biggest satellite launch vehicle in India. So it can launch a satellite of 4 tons into the geostationary orbit. So all these technical things, maybe you can refer it separately, but this is one of the greatest achievement in scientific achievement in post-independence. So I was involving in this same project. So this is a very challenging project. So really, if students want to take the challenges, so they're interested to crack the challenges, maybe you can think beyond the computer science. So come out from your office or from your laptop or computers. So think about other things like mechanical, civil, electrical. So a lot of other core branches are there. So actually these core branches are involving in national building. Of course, computer science is also there. It's generating a lot of revenue to the country, no doubt in that. But in addition to that, maybe we need to think about this, because these is looking like these specializations are vanishing. So very few people are there who's really interested to go and take these kind of challenges. So really, students he's interested to take the challenges. Maybe you can select this. Just in next 1 minute, maybe I'll take glimpses of my experience in ISRO. So this, whatever you're seeing this structure, so this is 400-ton crane. So this was developed in ISRO for handling this launch vehicle, satellite launch vehicle. Whatever you've seen, the GSLV Mark III, that is nearly 650 ton. So in that 650 ton, it is giant in segment wise. So each segment is somewhere about 200 ton. So it's a 3-stage vehicle. So this crane was developed indigenously in ISRO. So completely developed in India. So there is no technology from outside. It's indigenously developed. And this, whatever the stand, this. So actually, I was involving in this realization. I'm not there in the realization, but in construction and development and the installation. So I was there. So this, whatever the person is standing in this, it's me. So maybe you can see how much the person is very tiny in this structure. So this structure is not possible to made by a computer science, right? So it has to be a structure. A core engineering is required. Definitely, computer science help also required, but core engineers are must, right? So this was developed, I think, very huge structure. Maybe you can see in the person, if you say. So even whatever the see on the top of this, whatever the wheel, this is nothing but a carriage. It was positioned at somewhere about above 42 meters from the ground. So this is one of the engineering equipment developed in ISRO by a mechanical, electrical, all core engineering. So this, maybe you can see, this is me standing in front of vehicle assembly building at Sriharikota. So this is whatever you're seeing here. So backside, maybe you're seeing something about here. So this is the first launch pad. And this, whatever this you're seeing, this building is called a vehicle assembly building. So in this vehicle, complete integration of launch vehicle, whatever the GSLV Mark III you've seen in previous screen. So that is assembling here. So this, whatever the building is as standard. So this is almost 60 meters tall building. So this is also one more assembly building. So vehicle assembly building only. So in this, partly vehicle is assembled in this building, then it is moved on this. So maybe you can see there is a track is there. So this is a typical track. So from this track, the complete the assembled, partly assembled vehicle is moving into this building, and complete assembly is taking place there. And from there, behind this building, there is a second launch pad. So these are the really engineering challenges. So if really students are interested to take these kind of challenges, maybe choose engineering core. So computer science, no doubt, computer science is required. In addition to computer science, we need these kind of disciplines also. So this is my office, right? So here, the people feel that mechanical engineers is only a mechanical, civil, or mechanical core engineering. They need to work only on field. Not required. Even the people can develop the things. People can design. So here in Sriharikota, we are involving as a team member, as a team of engineers or scientists. We involving realization stage to final installation, commissioning, and application stage wise we are using. So we used to use computer applications to simulate the things before it is going to be happen. We need to design the things. So after designing, we need to verify the structure for their final requirement. So this is required. A mechanical engineer or a civil engineer or electrical engineer cannot be a full engineer without applications of computer. So computer applications are there in every engineering field. So maybe student having the impression that a mechanical or civil or structural engineer, they only working in the open air, or maybe their work is very hard. It's not like that. So it's actually a very challenging work and very comfortable, very pleasant work. So if you take my experience, I'm very much happy to share my experience with you. It's a very pleasant work. So definitely hard work is there. So everywhere, even students who cracking the exam, so there also a lot of hard work is there, right? So maybe mental hard work somewhere, physical hard work somewhere, different kind of hard works are there. Hard work is required everywhere. So these are the real challenges in front of the country. So in front of the world, in front of our nation, there is a huge challenges are there. So now the world is going towards Industry 4.0. So in industry 4.0, definitely we need a computers programming, computer artificial intelligence is required, data structure, security, cyber security are definitely is required. So can this only is sufficient? So we not required anything else. So definitely we need a lot of things in addition to this. So for run the computer, we need to have the power, right? So power generation, whether it is coming from nuclear power plant, whether it is coming from thermal power plant, whether it's coming from whatever the power plant, who can construct and who can operate these power plants? So this is by electrical or mechanical engineers, a core engineers. So without electricity, we cannot do anything now in this world. So even if you come to the construction, real infrastructure, so India lagging in infrastructure, that is we know. So our government having a vision to make India one of the great nation by constructing all the required infrastructures like roads, airports, buildings, ports, right? Everything. So our vision of the government, the vision of Prime Minister is very broad. So in that, so only one computer science is may not sufficient. So we need other engineers. So you even come to the machines, equipments, robotics, right? Robots. So for construction something, for installation something. So we need not only computer science, we need a lot of other engineers. So dear students, please realize. So computer science only, not the specialization. Because recently, when I'm seeing about this counseling process, almost 70 to 75% of the students are got or maybe opted only computer science. Hardly 20 or less than 25% students only going for the core engineering. But actually, core engineering is the heart of any development. If core engineering is missing, so it's very difficult for our national building. Not only national building, even in the world development. You can see in any other country. When you take example of China, so 25 years China is nowhere. So it's nowhere in developed countries. But now you see it's one of the superpower. Maybe they're overtaking in USA. USA also they're overtaking now. It's superpower now. Current superpower America. Very soon they're going to overtake. So China, we not know China as a good for software or good for computers. Definitely they're working for that. But their strength is their manufacturing sector, their co-engineering sector. So in India also we need to grow. We need to overtake China. So if we're working, definitely very soon we are going to beat the USA as well as China in all the sectors. So for this we need engineers. Every engineer is required. So if you're making only 70 to 80% of computer science engineers and hardly 20% of the other engineering, it's very difficult for us to compete with the world in future.
Yes, students, after seeing this, maybe you can decide. So in addition to computer science, there are a lot of other engineering fields are there, which is really required in this 21st century for the development, as well as for give the solution to the problems which is human facing. So please, there are a few days are left out for your admission process. So maybe in IITs and NITs, admissions are almost completed. The last phase of admissions are there. If you really want to face the challenges, you want to really directly, you need to involve in the national building. I'm not telling that computer science is not. They're also there in the national building. So there are a lot of revenues generating from IT sector for India. So definitely we need to consider computer science. So in addition to computer science, so even we need to see core engineering like mechanical, civil, electrical, even electronics engineering, chemical, metallurgy. So a lot of other engineering disciplines also there, which is also equally important, and this also is required for the development of human, development of the nation, and all scientific requirements. So if you want to change your idea and you opt for a core engineering branch, so this is the right time for you to choose it. For the student who's trying for this year admissions, as well as the students who's trying for next year admissions in good colleges and good disciplines, please think something different than computer science. Computer science definitely it's good. You can computer engineers also, computer engineers also required. So in addition to computer engineers, we need mechanical engineers, we need civil engineers, we need even other engineers also need. So friends, please focus, maybe consult your seniors or consult your professors before taking decision, because this is your most important decision. So whatever your discipline you're choosing now, so your complete entire career, entire life, you need to work in this. maybe what I've seen the scenario. For almost 80% students are opting for the computer science or related areas. So maybe in future, after 4 years or 5 years, if you say, so for one job of computer science, there is almost 10 engineers will be there for to do. Where is it coming to become a core engineering like mechanical, civil, or maybe electrical, or maybe other core branches. So hardly you can find the engineers. It means demand will be going to be more for these core engineering. So realize those. So you need to realize those things in advance, and accordingly can you choose your career. So whatever discipline you're choosing, I wish you a very bright and excellent career. You need to grow as an engineer, as a person, as a citizen, and also with your efforts, country, as well as the place or organization where you're going to work in tomorrow. So it's going to be developed, and it is give a very good constructive things in the society. Thank you very much for watching this video. So this kind of more informative videos will come from this my channel. So if you're interested, so please subscribe this channel, and also share, like this video, and share this message, my message, with all your contacts, all your friends, your groups, and everywhere. So thank you very much.